everyone, and welcome to this month's New Earth Teachings with Ascended Master Lakeshma. So those of you who follow Beings of the Light, you will know a little bit about Lakeshma, and if you're tuning into this for the first time, Lakeshma is an Ascended Master from Atlantis, and she comes forth with teachings of the Great Awakening, because what happened in Atlantis, which was the time of the first Great Awakening, is mirroring what's happening now. There are a lot of parallels, so she brings forth many teachings there. All right, so we have some Patreon members joining us. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you all for joining. All right, so without further ado, I'll go now into trance and bring forth Lakeshma. Hello, my dear ones. It is Lakeshma coming through. It's my honor to come through again in this way, in this time of great awakening, in this time of great expansion, in this time of evolution that you are going through. You are expanding so much fully than you can ever comprehend. You are vibrating collectively in a dimension that has never been experienced before in the human collective. But yes, there have been many great awakenings and many expansion points for the human collective. But never a time has there been so much expansion than there has been now. Now, you may look around in your surroundings and judge your surroundings. You may see what is occurring around you as unwanted. You may see society or the collective going backwards. This is only an illusion. This is a process. Now, we have discussed this in length, that you are going through a purge process. These are necessary shifts to assist in the human evolution to transcend programs based on duality consciousness, based on programs that have been, we would say, needed by the collective to move to this dimension that you are currently residing in. Everything that has happened in your life is leading you up to this very moment in the present now, because it is the present now where it is the portal to your eternal divine source self. The present moment. By staying in this present moment, you are connected to your multidimensional lives. You are able to connect to the intelligence, to the wisdom, to the divine source of who you are and who you are as one with your brothers and sisters, and who you are as a multidimensional expression of source. It is in this dimension where you access your full power. This full power is always available to you. It's just that part of the human conditioning, part of the programs that you are transcending is this program where you like to switch between different dimensions, where you like to visit dimensions where your full potential does not lie. And these dimensions are the past or the future. Now, it is okay to visit these dimensions if it is necessary for your evolution. Now, such dimensional visitations may occur to you to give you clues, but it's not there to stay there. It's not there to dwell there, because your full power is in the present now. Now, this may seem, we would say, somewhat we would say from your perspective, you may not see the full power of the present moment, especially those of you who are sensitive. You like to see dimensions of the past from the many, which you call as past lives, or dimensions that you're living in other worlds, other dimensions and timelines that exist in your perceived future. And you see a civilization as more advanced, you see a timeline as more advanced, you see a multidimensional version of you as more advanced. So you wish to attain that. But my dear ones, know that you are more advanced right now in human form. You may not perceive yourself to be highly advanced because you cannot shoot, we would say, laser beams out of your hands, let's just say. But you are highly advanced as a vibration, and it's part of this human conditioning, this program is where you're transcending, that will allow you to remember your full power. For if you need reminding, only the most advanced beings are here on earth right now during this time of great awakening. Because as you move through these shifts and these purges and these ascension shifts that you are going through, you will, we would say, release these aspects, these components, these programmings that you as a collective chosen to explore reality through. You have volunteered to go through this because you're highly advanced, and because you knew by you going through this transition, by you going through these shifts, you not only evolve your own personal source essence, you also ignite the expansion of the human collective and the collectives of all that is, of all the beings that has ever existed and that ever will exist. You are expanding the very essence of source because you are source manifested. You just do not see it because of the dimension that the collective resides in. It is part of these programs. You're not meant to see the full picture of who you are because you wanted to experience fear. You wanted to experience this contrast. You wanted to experience what full duality meant for you. You wanted to explore these dimensions because as source manifested in non-physical, you do not experience fear. So you wanted to experience this, and you knew by doing this you would expand. But know that these programs, as part of the collective soul contracts, is, we would say, it's being activated for you as a collective to explore, we would say, another aspect of your soul contracts now as a collective, which you as an individual are always connected to. You're always connected to your, obviously, your perceived individual soul contracts, but you're also connected to the collective soul contracts. There are many things playing its part here, many components here, and it's all assisting you to explore what you came here to explore pre-birth. Now, we know that at times you may feel powerless, but this is a journey. It is a catalyst for you to remember your own power. So in any scenario where you feel fear, where you feel powerlessness, it is a pathway for you to go inwards, to discover, to remember how powerful you are. And this is why there are many of us here assisting you in this overt way. We are coming through in a perceived external force because you are still attached to duality. And as you move further into oneness dimensions, you will start to remember for yourself that we are you. We are aspects of you, of the one, of source. We will always honor your belief systems and will always come through in a way that matches your belief systems, because it is here when you'll be able to have that resonance, activate more of the remembering of who you are and why you are here. You are here to love, to accept, to explore creatively as the God creators that you are. You may see separateness. You may see separateness not only within yourself in relations to others. You may see society and the world and the universe as separate components, but it is all one. And all that is all within you. All that you see externally, all that you experience is all within you. This is why your reality may be different to someone else's reality, because you are vibrating in a, we would say, a different dimension to other people. Yes, there are overall dimensional vortexes, we would say, that the collective are going through together, but within these dimensional vortexes, you as a perceived individual soul are exploring different, in your human comprehension, different levels of these dimensions, different pathways to explore within certain dimensions of duality. And this is why you see some people in a lot of fear, where you might be in a state of pure acceptance and in love, and you may not have much fear at all in your reality. But this is why, because you are a collective, are exploring together, but exploring through different dimensions together. And it's, we would say, a very exciting time for you in non-physical, although at times you may not be excited, you may experience the full force of the illusion. And we understand this, and this is a transition. We are here to remind you to ignite the remembrance of just how powerful you are and just how limitless you are. You have all the wisdom of all the beings of the light of source within you, because you are us, you are source. There is no separateness here. All your brothers and sisters are reflections of you, and they are all playing the role for you to assist you in your evolution. You are truly one with all that is, and it's this time of great awakening where you will remember it for yourself. Dear ones. Dear ones, and what would you like to discuss today?
Can I ask about the tension and exhaustion? And when we accept and release, what's really going on inside us and outside us? What's happening from I guess from a more technical perspective, I guess.
So you as a physical body, as well as source essence, is existing in physical reality in a unique vibration. This unique vibration encompasses your perceived physical body. It encompasses your divine blueprints. It encompasses your multidimensional existences. So as you go through a purge process, as you go through these journeys of letting go of programming, the body will feel this resistance. There are different, we would say, aspects to the body sensations. If you are feeling tiredness, exhaustion, your body is in need of rest. You are receiving downloads and activations, and at times your body does need rest. Your body is intelligent. Your body is not an empty vessel. Your body is working with you to alert you to certain action steps to allow you to fully integrate these evolutionary steps and these activations that are occurring within you. There are, in your terminology, many different activations occurring in your energetic fields. And because of this, it can be felt in the physical body depending on how sensitive you are. However, it's part of the human condition to judge bodily reactions, to judge how you should be feeling, what perfect health actually means. There are many perceptions here in the human conditioning. When you are resistant to either physical ills, disease, unwanted emotions, what you are doing here is you are not embracing who you truly are. And it is okay, it is not wrong. If you continue to resist, however, you will see that the physical ills will remain until you can release and accept. Because once you can accept these certain conditions that is felt within your physical being, within your physical reality, you are then seeing things from a perspective of love, from a perspective of source manifested. And it is this recognition that activates more of the oneness dimension explorations within your physical reality. So there are many different activations occurring that you cannot comprehend from a human perception. But when you can perceive things from a perspective of love and acceptance, you are then basically activating and acknowledging that you are one, and that you're acknowledging that you are source. You're acknowledging that you are God, creator, and this creates an energetic activation, a catalyst that further assists you in raising your frequency, and that assists you in exploring further dimensions of oneness. And because you are attached, your body is attached to the collective consciousness, because your body is part of your vibration. Once you can release that resistance and practice this source perspective, the oneness perspective based in love, your body will react with this, because your body is a vibration. It's part of your vibration. So there is a lot of energetic systems that is interplaying here, and it all starts with your perspectives. Your emotions are alerting you to, if you are seeing things from a perspective of duality or from a perspective of love and oneness. Because what is oneness? Oneness is acceptance of all that is. There is no wrong here. Everything is happening for you. And for those of you who can be, we would say, very, very focused on the inward work and exploring higher perspectives, it can be easy for you to judge yourself when you experience physical dis-ease, when you experience fear, because you perceive that you should be further ahead than you are. Because you have conscious awareness of many rememberings, you can judge your journey and cause further resistance. But it's about accepting that no matter how much work you have done, no matter how advanced you are or how advanced you feel you are all equally advanced, and you are in a journey here of releasing programs that is no longer needed. And this is what the purge is. So when you feel these physical sensations, whether it's from the releasement of programs no longer needed, or whether it is programs that you are refusing to look at, or whether it is you being sensitive enough that you are feeling this collective purge, it is all there for you, for your soul contracts. You are connected to all that is. And because you are connected to all that is, those of you who are very sensitive can feel the collective purge, because you are connected to the collective. But if you feel this, then it is for you in relation to your soul contracts. Once you can practice acceptance of these conditions, you are helping to assist raise the frequency of all of the collective. You're assisting the purge for all of the collective, the ascension for the collective. As you do your own perceived individual work, you are assisting in the raising of the collective. There is nothing external to you. It is all within you. So pay attention to any
I've lost the sound.
Yes, our energies can be quite strong. We shall change something here. How is the sound for you now?
Right. Thank you. And thank you for the answer. I feel that I judge myself and I resist, definitely, yes. But it's been going on for so many years now, so it's frustrating.
It's part of the human conditioning. It is okay. It is easy to judge yourself for judging yourself. You had to go through this for a reason. There was a reason why you judged yourself. So we would say there is nothing wrong in this exploration of judging yourself. It is all there for a reason. It is all an exploration. It is all a game. You do not have to suffer through this game of expansion. It's about accepting of your conditions, accepting of even your thoughts and your perceptions. It has led you to where you are now without you having these duality-based perspectives. It allowed you to go further inwards, you see? It was all leading you to go further inwards, to seek out further inner wisdom. It was all just one step. And once you can release the resistance, you'll be able to see the messages there and the gifts there that lie there. For your body is always working with you, with your divine essence, to alert you to messages and guidance that allows you to further evolve into the remembrance of your evolved state, because you are already enlightened. All of you are. It's just you have forgotten this for yourself.
Thank you.
It is our honor. What else would you like to discuss, dear ones?
Hi, Lakeshma. While we are experiencing all these purging emotions and bodily experiences, how do we stay in alignment, and what does that exactly mean?
Alignment is accepting. It is not about being resistant to it. Often a time when you have these unwanted emotions or physical sensations, you resist it. You try and make it go away instead of embracing it. By you embracing it, by you communicating with it, you are able to see the message there. It is not about pushing these things aside. It is there for a reason. You are experiencing it for a reason. Can you accept all these conditions, these unwanted emotions? There are messages there that is for you, for your evolution. If you can do that, you'll increase your frequency, your vibration. This is part of your evolution. You evolve through this contrast, through duality consciousness. Humanity has chosen to expand in this way through duality, but you are now starting to remember more of the oneness. It is the movement from duality to oneness. It is a catalyst that allows the collective to remember more of who they are. So it's about changing your perspectives to the unwanted. For nothing is unwanted, it is for you. Are you listening to your body? Are you listening to your body and acting on the guidance, or are you acting on your habitual systems based on duality, based on what society deems as right? Are you not resting because society tells you you must work, that you must keep busy? What are the belief systems in relation to you not resting? Do you perceive resting as someone being lazy? Does society tell you that if you do nothing, you are lazy? This is an example of limiting beliefs. So listen to your body. You are guided every step of the way. We are guiding you. Your body is guiding you. There are many guidance here available to you. But you may miss this guidance if you are not in the present moment. So all you need to do is be in the present moment when you are feeling this disease, these so-called unwanted emotions. Be in the present moment with it. Acknowledge to yourself how you are feeling. Tell yourself that you can accept how you are feeling. Ask it, what is the message here? What are my limiting beliefs here? Are there limiting beliefs that I have not addressed? Or are there limiting beliefs and programs that I'm just releasing? You have the ability to communicate with this dis-ease, this energy, because you are energy, and all energy and all aspects of your body is intelligent. So practice and experiment with communicating. Practice detachment. We know it can be a human condition to be easily triggered. When you go into fear, when you experience something as unwanted. Become the observer. Observe from a non-physical perception. Be the observer and ask yourself, what is this human experience doing and showing me? Communicate. It will reveal what needs to be released or what needs to be addressed. And it's about having patience. We know it can be hard to have patience at times, and we understand this. But this is the greatest purge that's ever existed in the human collective, the greatest ascension that's ever occurred for the human collective. And because of this, you may experience extended periods of purging processes, the purging symptoms and the ascension symptoms. And you may feel them as more intense as you previously have. But this is a shift that is necessary. It's a shift that you wanted, but you do not have to suffer through these shifts. If you attach yourself to duality, consciousness perspectives, then you are attaching yourself to the suffering of it. If you can release that resistance, you can start to explore it from a oneness perspective, from a perspective of who you truly are. It starts with a perspective change, and then you receive the guidance for your next step. It is all there for you. Just communicate with it. Ask your guides, ask yourself, because we are one and they are all you, we are you. Have you had an example where you've been able to do this?
Yes. Recently, when I experience the fear or an anxiety, I've been practicing, instead of getting lost in it, observing it and being with it and imagining it as a puppy, and then talking to it and then embracing that emotion. And it always gives me messages about what I'm still holding on to. There's a human aspect of me that almost is scared of that change, of coming into the oneness. And then there's another aspect of me that's saying that you're love. And then I'm finding myself experiencing both dimensions more frequently than I may have been aware of before.
Because you are shifting, and as part of your human conditioning, you and the collective have attached to aspects of control. So when there is an unknown, because you cannot control the unknown, you feel fear. And this is a common occurrence for the human collective. But these are programs based on duality that you are transitioning from. So understand that it is normal to have fear as you go through this evolution, because who you were before that is attached to duality is shifting to a version of you that exists in oneness, that exists without duality. You are always moving through dimensions further into oneness with every breath that you take. However, because these movements are so frequent, you may not feel the shift. But because it's time of great awakening, because you're moving through many dimensions, because it's a time of great awakening, because you're capable of doing so, you do feel this change in your form. You feel the change in your identity, in your persona, and who you truly are. Now, this shift can be somewhat jarring, because how you perceived yourself is one thing. Knowing that all your beliefs is attached to this persona, attached to this identity, it comes with rules on how to behave and how to be in reality, how to be in society. It is, you've come up to this point with certain, what you have adopted, certain rules that allows you to live in this physical reality of duality. But these rules are self-imposing, but these rules have been conditioned because of your society and because of the illusion of physical reality. Now the rule book has been thrown, And now you are starting to remember that you do not need a rule book, that there was never a rule book, that the rule book was always part of the illusion, that you are actually truly limitless. So it can be scary because this has given you, the rule book has given you a sense of security, but it's a false sense of security. It's allowed you to live your way in a somewhat secure way that allows you to plan for the future, that allows you to adopt physical reality and to live a life that you believe you are worthy of according to your perceptions of duality. But now you're moving past that dimension in your human terminology, and you are starting to remember that you are much more limitless, and that what you are truly capable of is not in the rule book. And because of this, you feel a sense of fear of the unknown. Now, this is normal. So accept that this is part of your evolution. It is part of the great shift. Do not try to resist these emotions. Embrace them. It is normal part because you are releasing duality, and because you as a perceived individual and you as a collective have attached so much to duality. When the notion of duality ceases to exist, starts to minimize in your reality, you do not know how to exist. You have this vibrational wobble that alerts you to the fact that you are moving from the traditional human being, that you are now moving as a collective to oneness dimensions. It would say it is a bridge to your great remembrance of who you are as source. And it's a shift that is necessary. Not everyone will feel the shift so intensely. It depends on your soul contracts. It depends on your role here. So if you feel this, know that you are meant to feel this shift, because you are meant to feel the difference from duality to oneness, because you are meant to teach oneness, you see. So you wanted to be sensitive to these shifts. And this is why all of you watching this are light workers. You have this resonance. You are sensitive enough to feel these shifts because you wanted to be, you have chosen to be in this physical reality, to be a way shower, to be a light worker, to be someone who helps ignite the light within others, to help remember who they truly are. But first you must remember who you truly are, to allow you to fully ignite the light in your remembrance, for you know that the light is ever burning. You are already enlightened. This is a journey to remember it for yourself. And once you can get once you can explore a dimension where you start to remember more of this for yourself, then those soul contracts will be activated in your divine blueprint that allows you to further be the ratio, to be the light worker. But it's all internal. First is all the internal work, and then you will receive guidance on how to assist the collective. So just know this is part of the shift, and we know that the fear can be intense. But are you able to surrender? Do you have fear in surrendering to the unknown version of who you are? For you to cross this bridge is for you to jump off and surrender. You may be on that edge, worried about what would happen if you jump. Will it be smooth waters? Would it be turbulent waters? Would I be able to recognize myself once I jump in? All these existential questions, all these questions about who you are. But it's about surrendering to the universe, surrendering to you, because you are guiding your own way. All the guidance that you see and experience as external to you is all internal guidance. So you have your own answers. You may perceive them as external guides, but this is because of duality consciousness. As you start to remember more of who you are, you will receive the knowing. You will know which step to take. And it's about getting to that edge and surrendering. And once you can surrender and jump off, you remember there was no edge and that you were in the waters all along. You had just forgotten it. Are you ready to jump off, my dear one?
Oh, that's funny you ask, because I feel like I'm right at that edge, and there is a part of me that's saying it's time. Thank you. So yes, let's do this.
Take one step at a time. Take 1 foot over the edge, one pinky toe over the edge. One step at a time. But no, there'll always be an aspect of fear here. But it'll be up to you to push past that fear and take that leap of faith. This is up to you. You can prolong you sitting on this edge as long as you want. But just know, if you have that guidance, that inspiration to take that leap, then do it. Be brave. No harm can come to you. It's only in your perceptions of duality that harm can come to you. There may be perceptions of harm as in how society will judge you, how loved ones will judge you, how you will fit into the world if you are forever changed. Will people recognize you of who you are? There is perceptions of how others will see you, which is causing you the resistance. Know that it's time for the great awakening, and you're supposed to shift. You're supposed to evolve. And we understand that in the human comprehension of duality and the human processes of letting go of fear, there can be a process of grief here. Because you are acknowledging that you are shifting. Who you truly are is becoming no longer viable in this expansion evolution. Who you were is always going to be there in a dimension that is always existing, because who you are existing in every dimensional point exists in the multiverse. So just know you will never, we would say, leave completely that version of you. That version will still exist in the multiverse. So you do not have to grieve it for it to be completely lost. It will still exist. However, that dimension is no longer needed for you, and you are ready to move to another dimension. So just know that version of you will still exist, but you have outgrown her. Can you feel it?
Oh yeah, I've been feeling that very strongly. Thank you so much.
It's all about acceptance and patience. You do not have to rush to take the jump. All in divine time. It's all in preparation. One more reason why you are here. It will all occur in divine time, my dear one. There is no rush to the finish line here. But just know that all is occurring for you, and that there is no reason to be afraid, because once you jump, what you will experience is more of who you are. You will jump through the barriers of amnesia to remember more of your enlightened state. And how exciting is that? You may not be able to see it now, but once you take the jump, you'll be able to see yourself for the powerful being that you truly are, not one that is lesser than in your perception. That's tied to the old version. That's tied to you existing in duality. And there are many versions of you existing in duality and oneness, because you're multidimensional. But it's about a journey to expand more into oneness dimensions. You attract these dimensions to yourself once you address your vibration. You're truly multidimensional. And this is why we say being in the present moment is where you can attract and embrace the dimension where more of your power lies.
Thank you so much.
My honor, my dear one. There are many shifts in the collective. You are plugged in to the collective. You can never be unplugged from the collective. So just know, as you shift, the collective shifts. As you jump, so does the collective. You are all attached. You are never alone, my dear one. You may perceive to be alone because of your attachments to duality. But as you release more and as you detach from the illusion more, as you start to see yourself as worthy, then you'll start to activate more of this remembrance, and you'll be able to activate more of this courage in your human comprehension perspective for you to take that jump. Because how worthy do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as truly worthy to remember more of who you are? Do you see yourself as worthy and powerful enough to have these abilities? To be able to be the leader that you are, that you all are? How you perceive yourself in how worthy you see yourself is all tied to your belief systems based on duality. You're always worthy because you're a source. How can you not be worthy? How can you not be powerful? Only the most advanced beings are here right now. Even those who do not seem powerful in your reality, they are just playing that role not to remember who they are. They're just as powerful as you. Everyone is just as powerful because they're all frequencies of source. It's only that some have chosen to remember more of who they are at different perceived times in your human comprehension of time. It's all one step at a time. And how far you have come, my dear one. What else would you like to discuss, dear ones?
Lakeshma, I have a question for you. So a friend's dog transitioned yesterday to non-physical. And the dog was very young. And we're all multidimensional. And then you just said earlier that version of that dog exists in a multidimensional state. But that dog is also an energy and has a higher self and many versions. That dog chose to, that entity came as a dog to experience physical reality, right? But is it easy to just visit that dimension where that entity is in the form of the dog?
We would say there are vibrational points that do exist. However, it's up to your belief systems, and it depends on dimension that you are predominantly residing in your conscious awareness, where you can access these frequency points. You are energy. All that exists is energy, and all beings that have ever existed is energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. Energy is always existing. You are multidimensional. And as you move forwards to oneness, all there is just one. All there is just source. So you see, if you are still residing in duality, you can still explore different dimensions of different beings. Now, there is we would say an energetic code, because what you are is source code, is energy, is imprints of energy, and it is intelligent energy. You are intelligent energy. So there is in the multiverse, in the non-physical, there are ways for you to access different energetic points. We would say that as you become more sensitive, you'll be able to become more guided into these steps. Some of you may call these as energetic portals. They are frequency points that where you can access different beings, but just know that all of non-physical can be accessed in the now. Part of the human experience, the best and most effective way that you can do it right now as part of your human soul contracts is for you to make the intention to connect. For all the dimensions that have ever existed is accessible in the now in your human form. Just make the intention to connect to that being in that form. And if you have the belief systems that matches, then they will come to you in that form to please your belief systems. But you will need to have the belief that this can occur, because then you are accepting that oneness truly exists and that oneness will be shown to you. if you have resistance in exploring certain dimensions, then this will be reflected in your explorations also. Know that you are truly limitless, and know that all the beings are accessed. All you need to do is make the intention to connect and play with this. And there is a reason if they come, and there is a reason if they do not come. It's all relating to your belief systems and to the soul contracts which you chose to explore. You are limitless. There were endless possibilities here. So experiment. The fact that you had this concept means it is possible. Any form of imagination and concept is real. There's no such thing as imagination not based in truth. All thoughts, all ideas, all concepts that you perceive to be in the imagination is actually truth in the multiverse. It exists. The concepts exist because you were attracted to receive. You attracted this concept to you, this wisdom to you. You are able to explore such dimensions. It is whether you feel you are worthy enough or that you are powerful enough. But you are powerful enough.
Yeah, I think what was confusing to me is like we're all energy, and we come as certain, like right now I'm showing up as Isabel and Kimberly is showing up as Kimberly, right? But she's way more than Kimberly and I'm way more than Isabel. And so this dog, Tucker, is way more than the dog, right? But I think about like, well, we all play roles for each other. So his energy or essence could easily come back in that form because he's been in that form. So his energy knows that form, but he's way more than a dog. And it's just a game. It's just a game. It's like an avatar. It's like, okay, I'm going to put on the dog suit to play because that's how that's how you got to know me. And we just play the game.
The animals that come to you, they are still part of your soul family. They are playing the role for you. And you have co-created these roles to allow them, you would say your animals, your furry friends, your feathered friends, or your friends in the animal world, they're assisting you in your evolution. They are reflecting back to you unconditional love to remind you that all that exists is love. They've chosen to come through in a non-human form to assist you in ways that you would say, have less resistance around. Because if this animal was to come through in human form, you may judge this animal. You may have different ideas about this being. You may, because of your belief systems based on society programming, you may apply certain roles and attributes to this person, which is quite limiting, we would say. So the reason why they come through in animal form is for you to release that resistance, because most of you have little resistance when it comes to your animal friends. They are part of your family and they can easily reflect back that vibration to you. They are vibrationary support in physical reality. They love you unconditionally, just like all your human brothers and sisters love you unconditionally. It's just not everyone may overtly show that to you because of their program in duality. So animals are a perfect reflection of love. They are here to support you in your journey. They are also multidimensional. They are also existing in many different forms, in many different worlds, many different dimensions. You are all multidimensional. This is how your reality and everything that exists in your physical reality is tied to. It's part of the collective soul contracts. So everything that existing in your physical reality, living or non-living, is all part of your soul contracts and is all part of the movement from duality to oneness. It is a program of expansion, of ascension, that you are all playing this game together.
Thank you, Lakeshma. So Lakeshma, I do want to talk about the ascension. I sense there are going to be many phases. If I was going to ascend humanity, it makes perfect sense waking up the light workers first to assist other brothers and sisters, right? And I know the non-physical and physical entities are all co-creating with us in this grand ascension, which is super exciting. And I just sense that there's just many phases coming to this transition. But the transition, because humans are just so concerned about time, which I get because I live it all the time. But it is happening. I always say to my friends, I'm like, it's happening within our lifetime. It's not 100 years from now. This is really happening. It's going to feel accelerated. Some people are going to perceive it not quick enough. It's whatever it is, however long it takes is however long it takes, but it will be the perfect amount of time for all of humanity to ascend over a series of years-ish. Anyways, that's my sense. Would you like to add anything to that?
You as a collective have been going through many shifts. You may feel it now as more intense. It's because it's just part of the next shift, but you have always been shifting. Ever since you were born, you're moving through dimensions. So those of you that are sensitive are starting to feel more of these energies more intensely. It is a time of great awakening, and as such, your abilities have been activated. Your sensitivities have been activated. You have always been having these abilities, but you have forgotten it. So what's occurring right now, the Great Awakening, these abilities are now being remembered within you. You've always had these abilities. You have come here, and those of you watching or listening to this, to ignite the light within others. And yes, there are different phases of ascension. Now, we would say these are waves of going through purges and going through different portal shifts. You are going through, we would say, the most, intense, the most expansive shift that the human collective are going through, because you are now letting go of duality. You are now letting go of programs that has been programmed for the human collective to explore for eons. What are moments in perceived time that you are now shedding this. You are now ready for more. The very essence of the human being is shifted. What identifies a human being was the attachments of duality consciousness, duality programs. But now as part of the collective programs, you have chosen more oneness. So by you accepting this journey, by you being here right now, you are taking part in the very, you would say, the fundamental change of the human collective being. The human being is now ready to expand beyond that identity of what the human being and what the human identity is. You're expanding into so much more. So this is a phase that will continue as long as you have resistance to it. Any senses of the collective purges, any resistance within your felt experience will remain until you can let it go. Now, beings can, we would say, explore through different dimensions within the overall collective dimension. So this is why some of you perceive to shift more than others. So just know, by you doing your internal work, you are then assisting the whole collective to shift, even those who you deem as unawakened. So there can be someone who you deem as completely unawakened, and by you doing your internal work, you expand them, you ignite the light within them to assist them to remember their light, even if they're not in friendship group, even if they're on the other side of the world and you do not know them. You are expanding that person because you are all connected. So this is we would say, a vital dimensional shift, a stage for the human collective. There are aspects within your ethereal DNA and energy components where those aspects of you, especially those of you from a galactic origin, are being activated. So the very essence of the human being, the very expression of the human being is being transformed. It's not just the evolution of consciousness, it is an evolution of the perceived physical form. The very energetic structures of the human being is shifting. For you to move into oneness dimensions, your physical body, your perceived physical body in all aspects also needs to shift for it to be aligned to oneness, to be aligned to more of who you truly are. So this is why there is such strong purging symptoms felt, either emotionally or physically. And this is just one more stage. It is a purging stage. It is a stage of you letting go of these programs, by you accepting it, by you releasing the resistance. And as you do this, you will feel different abilities come online. They could be felt as a new ability, but they were never new. It was just that it's the activation of this remembrance in your conscious awareness. And as you do your own inner work, your shadow work, your soul work, then you'll receive guidance. It may come through an external way, like we are coming through Kimberley. But as you move through oneness dimensions, it'll be a knowing. You will know the right step for you, but you may judge that step because you do not see yourself as worthy or powerful enough. So you judge your guidance. So as you let go more of the resistance, start to see yourself as more worthy, as limitless, as powerful, you'll start to trust the guidance that you've always had within you. And yes, there are many stages, we would say, for oneness remembrance. And we would say the collective goes through, in your perception of time, one stage at a time. But in truth, reality, the version of the collective who has remembered their full oneness state is already existing in the multiverse. So as you do your individual work, you start to attract more of those dimensions to your personal experience. And as you do that, if enough of you do that, then then these dimensions of oneness remembrance will be attracted to the full collective. And then once you pass through this vibrationary point, then you'll go through another stage. We've already talked about this, is that the activating of certain energetic systems within your being, such as that of the galactic origins, will then further activate a further stage that allows you to then fully see what true oneness is in your physical reality. Not just oneness with your brothers and sisters, but oneness with your galactic brothers and sisters and with all that is. It's just one step at a time. It is all in preparation for you to manage your fears now, to manage your belief systems now, to release those attachments to duality to such a point then that you'll be ready for the next stage of oneness remembrance. It is all about divine time and having patience, and we know this can be challenging for you because you have been conditioned to plan your life, to make goals, to feel worthy, to feel successful, to feel powerful. You've had belief systems where you need to reach a certain point in a certain amount of time. And then you compare yourself with others, not knowing that the other people's paces, that what you perceive to be as other people, is all in accordance with their soul contracts. So you see, you cannot truly compare yourself to anyone else's journey because everyone has unique soul contracts here. Just know that your journey is perfect and is unique to you, and it is also part of the collective consciousness soul contracts. You are all in this together. You are all expanding together.
Can I ask a question? Sorry.
Yes, my dear.
For the human collective as a whole, is this process of going into the remembrance typical for collective consciousnesses throughout the universe, or is it special for the human collective?
We would say there are certain unique programs that is attached to the human collective. So other collectives, not of human form, go through their own journeys, and they are unique for their expansion. So some collectives might already know their one, but they are then exploring something else, you see. So it's all unique to the collective, to all collectives in this universe. And there are many universes that have many different variations of universal laws to assist in the expansion of those collectives. So just know that you existing in your present awareness of you being in human form, you are attached and you expand through certain universal laws that applies to this universe. But because you are truly multidimensional, you that exist in a universe, in a different universe, will be expanding through different universal laws or slight variations of them. It is all an intricate expansion game here. And there is a reason why different universes expand in different ways and why different collectives expand in different ways. There are many pathways of evolution, and we would say you as a human race can be somewhat new compared to a lot of other races. So because of this, in your perceived time, the evolutionary journey is varying because of this, because of your time of first Great Awakening compared, say, to other collectives who went through their Great Awakenings. So because of the different journeys here and the different contracts, you would say, there are different points and variations of evolution here, but it's all assisting together to expand all that is. There is a perfect divine plan here, why some collectives are perceived to be more evolved than others, why others evolve through different means than others. It is all working together to expand the collective, to expand source and all that is. Now, it might be beyond a human comprehension standpoint to see the full picture, because you are not meant to see the full picture right now because you are still attached to these programs of duality. But once you start to remember more of oneness, you'll be able to start to plug in and to actually see this multidimensional lives. You'll be able to then be able to explore in different dimensions. Let's just say that you are truly limitless and this is possible, but we would say the key focus for you in this time of Great Awakening, for you as a human being, is to evolve through the different, we would say, the different aspects that is tied to the human experience. Because you wanted to expand through these particular universal laws to these certain pathways and programs. Otherwise, you would not have come through as a human being. You would have chosen to come through and not exist as a human being. You would have chosen to expand through a different being, not in human form, you see? So by you coming here, pre-birth, wanting to explore life in human form, you wanted to explore these certain conditions and these programs, and only the most advanced beings can come through in this time of Great Awakening in human form. So my dear ones, know that there is much more that truly exists than you can even comprehend, because you are source manifested. And depending on your stage of evolutionary journey, you'll be able to know this more for yourself. It is just one step at a time, you as a perceived individual and you as a collective. It is all here assisting in your evolution. Someone on the other side of the world, as they do their inner work, it is assisting you because you are connected to all that is. And what a fun game this is. If you can see it for what it truly is, it is a game of expansion, because you are just source playing different versions of yourself. This is how advanced you truly are. It's a game of remembrance.
So coming here to be a light worker is just another choice to have a specific experience?
Because those of you who've come here in this time of Great Awakening, those of you who resonate with such teachings that look for higher perspectives, you are light workers, you are the way showers. So because of this, because of your soul contracts, you have chosen to play a certain role here to assist in an overt way in the evolution of all that is. So all the beings that exist on the earth plane now are also playing that role. But those of you who remember more of who you are, those that are the light workers and the way showers, you've chosen to play a more active role here. But to play that active role is to first go within, to remember more of who you are, and then you will receive steps to assist in others. It does not have to be a grand step, we would say. It could be just you being an example of the light, by you being able to share teachings, by you being able to act on guidance. It might be for you to do certain activities, whether it's teaching, whether it's healing. It's assisting in the empowerment of the collective. If you have a calling to activate more of the empowerment within others, within yourself, then you are the light worker. Now, you may not be able to see the full picture of this in your current vibration, but just know if these teachings resonate with you, if you have this calling to find out more about who you are, then you can know that you are this way shower and these light workers. And there are many different avenues you can explore this. Now, you have chosen to come through because we would say if you're a light worker and a way shower, your creation was to play this certain role. You may have chosen to play this certain role on Earth, or you most likely have chosen to play this role in several different places at once, many different worlds, or it could be just playing that role here on Earth. There are many different variations of this, but just know that you've played this role before. If you are a light worker and a way shower, you've played this role before in many of your other multidimensional lives. You have a choice, though. You do not have to act on this role if you do not want to. But we would say that if you are this person, you have a calling within you. And if you do not act on this calling, you may then experience certain effects within your physical body. You may experience certain resistance within your body that allows you to live a life that's not empowered because you're resisting your calling. So we would say you always have the choice. We would say if you can be brave in acting on the guidance and the calling, you'll be able to remember more of who you are. You'll be able to remember more of your oneness state, and you'll be able to experience for yourself just how powerful you are. It's all about acceptance of who you are and taking that step forward. Even though there is fear, it's about taking that next step and embracing the powerful being that you are. And is there anything else you would like to discuss before we finish here today? Dear ones, know just how powerful you are, how limitless you truly are. Know that everything is occurring in your reality out of love. Your perception of suffering, your perception of fear, your experiences of fear is only part of the duality consciousness exploration. Know that it is not wrong, and if you experience this, you are not wrong. You are not lesser than. You are in exploration. You are in the transitional stages here. If you're exploring this, there is a reason for it. And there is a powerful gift and message there if you are experiencing this. So embrace it. Do not resist it. It is all there for you, for your evolution and for the evolution of all that is. Embrace all aspects of yourself, the perceived wanted and the perceived unwanted. It is all there for you. As you fully embrace more of your uniqueness, as you embrace more of who you are and accept more of who you are, you'll be able to activate more of the remembrance of who you truly are. That is source manifested, that is powerful, that is limitless, that is the manifestation of love. You have the power has always been within you, the wisdom has always been within you, the wisdom of all that is in source is within you because you are source. You are here in this time of great awakening to remember that you are source, to remember that you are one, to remember that you are love, to remember that you are eternal. It is all about being in the present moment, staying in that portal where your true power lies, where your true connection lies to your source power. And it's here where you'll activate more of your abilities and the guidance for you to live a life that's truly limitless in expression and in form. My dear ones, it is our honor to come through in this way. Until next time, friends, farewell.